Hey folks, and welcome back to another deep dive into the Mark Wilson Complete Course in Magic. Yeah, we're going to continue our journey through one of the best beginner books ever penned for the aspiring illusionist, prestidigitator. It's all in there: rope tricks, coin tricks, balls, illusions, cards, and cards is exactly what we're going to talk about today. In our last tutorial, we spoke about basic card handling, the stuff that Mark covers. This clip, I'll put a few of those techniques to use, and we're going to do an easy trick and one that takes a little practice. Let me do those for you first of all, and then we'll talk about how you can do them as well. This is helpful if you have a live audience. I don't, so while you're there and I'm here, I'm just going to pick a card for you, and I'd like you to remember the card. Now, you don't have to remember it, but if you don't, there's no plot. It's your choice. It goes back into the deck. I'm going to find it with a simple move. A simple move looks something like this. You know what that does? It hurts. It hurts now it activates one card to turn 180 degrees. One card and one card only. The five of, that's not your card. Oh no, I didn't say it was your card. That's actually my indicator card. It's an indicator. It indicates I messed up. Or maybe this. Maybe it indicates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top. Maybe the 6 of hearts rings the bell. Oh, and that was actually pretty easy. Yeah, finding the 6 was easy. The hard part of the trick is finding the 4 aces to make a good poker hand. What? This is where my audience would normally respond with applause. I'll leave that to your choice. If you're doing that at home, I bow for you now. I thank you. Let's do one more with a little less cards. Here's the thing. 52 cards, I got hands moving, I talk a lot, it's easy to miss something. So let's just use the 4 aces, and maybe we'll just use 2 of those, and of those 2, you only have to watch one. You could keep your eye on the ace of hearts or the ace of diamonds, your choice. Here's the conundrum. Is the ace of diamonds on the top or the bottom? Yeah, snooze, you lose. There's no winners here. Those are the 2 black ones. That's right, I cheat. Those are the red ones. And that is the color changing aces. Boom, bada, bing. All right, those are the 2 tricks we're going to cover today. The first one is a self-working, wonderful piece. And the second one, a nice follow-up that will require a little bit of practice, but it's well worth it. Let's start with the first one. The trick is titled The Fantastic Five. And you'll find this trick in the self-working card trick section of the Mark Wilson course. And this one works basically with a setup and a key card placement. And we talked a little bit about key card placement in the previous card handling, but here's the setup. 4 aces on the face of the deck. Above those cards, a face-up 5 spot, any 5. And then the rest of the deck goes atop there. Now, I like to open this with a shuffle that leaves the stock on the bottom. I'm going to advocate either a Hindu shuffle, and for this, what I'm doing here is taking the top portion of the way, leaving the bottom set up in my hand, and then doing the Hindu shuffle, which we talked about. Alternatively, a tabled riffle shuffle, just leaving that bottom stock set up works as well. So do that to make this trick gooder, or don't. It's up to you. We start with a selected card. You're going to spread the deck and have your friend pick a card. Just be careful you don't spread into the setup. This is not magic. You'll want to not do that. So just spread from the top. Let your friend choose a card. Wherever they pick the card, we're just going to use that one. Separate the deck and place the top half to the table. So they're looking at their card. There's the top half. That's where their card goes back. And above that, the setup. It's a secret placement of the setup. Alternatively, I think I did this in the performance, you can use something like the Hindu shuffle key card placement. You could just shuffle through here. They can say stop and put their card back. So, boop, and just drop the rest on top. Either one of those systems will put your 5 card setup atop the selection. So you do your joke, do a little magic. Use that ribbon spread we talked about to display your indicator card. But yeah, it indicates I messed up. Separate the deck at that point. Below that 5 is the stack you need, so introduce it now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that your card? By gum, we got it. Put the 5 aside, build a little suspense, and then reveal you've also found the 4 aces. It's a great, easy trick. I think it'll serve you well if you don't know it. And thank you, Mark Wilson, for that beautiful thing. All right, now we're going to talk about what Mark calls the color-changing aces. This trick is described in the glide section of the book. The glide is a move where you pretend to take the bottom card, but you secretly move the bottom card and take the second card. I'm not going to advocate that technique. It's okay, but I think if you're going to commit to using the sleight, maybe use something that's a little bit more natural. So what I'm going to do is just explain the what is actually the Doc Daley's last trick as I perform it. Okay. You'll want to start with the packet set up in red, black order. Now, it's easy enough just to have them positioned that way. What I like to do is begin with the cards separated, and then as I count them from hand to hand, I execute an Elmsley count. It looks like I'm just reverse counting the cards, but that secretly displaces them into red, black order. If you need a lesson on the Elmsley count, well, that happens to be the video I uploaded last, so take a look at Alex Elmsley and the count and the tricks. It's a history lesson on the Elmsley count. Maybe check that out, the tutorials at the end of the tricks. So this is the Elmsley count, and now we're in red, black order. If you're not going to use the Elmsley count, that's fine. You'll still want to reverse count the cards, and here's why you count the cards. As you count them from hand to hand, in jog, we talked about that as well, the card, second card from the top. So as you're counting the cards, just in jog this one slightly, I'm exaggerating here, and then as you close as you square everything up, you can get a secret little pinky break above the top two cards. This is in preparation for a double lift. A double lift, you can just grab it by the ends and show like this. This is the easy way to do it. You have your break and just pick up the double and say, that's the ace of diamonds. Put the double back down and then deal the top card to the table. I usually opt for like a Vernon style turnover when I'm doing this. That's a little advanced and you can get to that or use it if you know what it is. Regardless, you've done a double lift, place that card to the table. Now we're going to continue with a double from the bottom. A double from the bottom, and that can be easily accomplished just by holding these cards in biddle grip with your thumb maintaining some contact on the top card. Just pull it into your left hand and revolve the face card of what's left in your right hand. That'll be a double, the ace with the black ace behind it. So this is a double from the bottom. And as before, I will often keep this in the hands. The double in the bottom I used is moving the top card to the left with your thumb, grabbing the two below it, pinched as one, and then revolving them 180 degrees sideways on top of the pack. I then push everything with my thumb over the bottom card, and it looks like the ace of hearts goes onto the table. So your spectator has seen both red aces go to the table. Use whatever voodoo, don't use that. Don't use hoodoo voodoo. That is apparently offensive. I learned that over the last week. I'll try not to say that anymore. With apologies to those it offends. I digress and move on. The transposition is complete. That's the black aces changing with the red aces. And that is Doc Daley's last trick. Let me tell you, this was one of the first sleight of hand tricks that I ever learned as a young man. I might have been 14. It was off a VHS tape that I happened to find at a rental place. It was my destiny to learn this trick. I've used it ever since. We're talking like 37 years of card trick use. And I think if you give it a little attention, you might find it keeps a place in your repertoire as well. So there we go. Another Mark Wilson tutorial in the books. I hope you find some use with that Fantastic Five or the Color Changing Aces / Doc Daley's last trick. And that's the scoop. As always, if you like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. That helps the algorithm help me help you. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.